Steven, Estevão, Estêvão Willian, Willian Estevao.
Here we go again.
It's Estevao! What a terrific finish from Estevao! Just 18 years of age. Brazil's new box office star.
Can anybody stop our boy? Can anybody doubt Estevão? Estevão Willian scores at the Emirates. Long may it continue. Arsenal? Today, it was for Brazil against Senegal, opening the scoring for his nation. Undoubtable. Let's give it context. We know what he's done so far for Chelsea. We've accepted the brilliance already. We allow him to take us off our seats. We understand that. Let's just consider the context. Guys, my people, and welcome back to the channel. Before we brief this, Estevão Willian is 18 years old. I've been a Chelsea fan for a very long time. Well, majority of my lifespan. Let me put it that way. When I became a Chelsea fan, we had Arjen Robben on the right wing. Did I understand the quality of Robben? I couldn't analyze football to that extent. I was a young boy. Arjen Robben was our right wing. Over the years, those that come to mind, Andre Schürrle, Willian, the original Willian. Star players, good players. Others that makeshifted the right half space and right wing. Ramirez, another Brazilian. He wasn't an out-and-out right winger, but he would drift into those positions, help out. I remember Solomon Kalou operating to some degree on that side of the pitch. Victor Moses operating a bit as a right wing back, right wing situation. Consider the ages at which all these players were reliable for Chelsea. For us as Chelsea fans, relying on these players to deliver. These were all players, you could say, on average, 25 and above. Now, I see Burnley, I see Barcelona after the international break. I see Arsenal after the international break. Here I am, and I want an 18-year-old to start. I need this 18-year-old to start these games. This young boy. Because he's so talented. I'm getting goosebumps, guys. He's so good. Estevão is amazing, guys. We've really struck gold. You know that meme where you're digging a tunnel, you give up just before you reach that gold in your mind? No. We went all the way as Chelsea. We battled European giants for the signing. The player is happy to be at Chelsea. Kudos to Andre Santos. Kudos to Joao Pedro. Kudos to Enzo Fernandez. You know, everyone making Estevão comfortable with this major shift from Palmeiras to Chelsea. Kudos. Applause. Plaudits to everyone. Enzo Maresca. You know, a few fans questioned why we're rotating Estevão so much and why we're not starting him in every game. We don't want him to burn out. I don't want Estevão to burn out. You know, with happiness in him, 23, 24-year-old Estevão, 24-year-old Estevão is in 6 years from now. 2032, he could still be at Chelsea, gracing our right wing or gracing the cam role. Let's break it down, guys. Here's what happened with Brazil from what I saw in the highlights. I will put the highlights in that I got for you guys. But first, let's open up our GLA tactics board. And Brazil did the right thing. Don Carlo is the perfect manager to see them through to the World Cup. The only issue I would say for Brazil is defense. Not an issue, but they have to solidify. They have to ensure that they are really solid in defense. So, the perfect formation is what Don Carlo is deploying, in my opinion. A 4-2-2-2 with heavy rotation across the pitch. Because you don't want to restrict these players to a certain position when you know they have a certain level of versatility. So, here's what's happening, guys. Vini Jr. and Cunha in the front line. Rodrigo and Estevão behind them. And a pivot of sorts of Casemiro, that's experience, and Bruno Guimaraes, that's experience as well. So, let's just say the pivot of Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro remains constant in that in that shape, right? Everyone in this front four is able to move as they please to a certain degree. Of course, Vini Jr., which is smart by Don Carlo because he worked with this player as well as Rodrigo at Real Madrid. Vini Jr. will drift more to the left. He loves it there. He's comfortable there. Cunha will take up the striker role, let's say, in attack, right? Estevao, very much comfortable going to the right side. And then Rodrigo can play as the 10 of sorts, the false 10, if that makes sense. Let's keep that back six constant. You know, we're seeing Militao at right back, very interesting from Don Carlo. But if you look at it, it started in a 4-2-2-2. Now you have this front four. Let's bring back that 4-2-2-2 and consider what could also happen. In the same way, Cunha could operate in the central role, and Rodrigo could move beyond Cunha and be the striker in the system. So depending on where Cunha is, working hard for the team, perhaps pressing players, Rodrigo can still overlap Cunha. Vini Jr. and Rodrigo become the two strikers in that system. And the same thing can happen with Estêvão Willian. Estêvão Willian could drift into the cam position. Cunha becomes the striker. Let's put Vini back on the left, Rodrigo on the right. Everyone is comfortable to do that. Everyone can do that. How much rotation is that, guys? This front four of Brazil could be the reason why. Hence, I'm saying the defense is the only issue, if you can say that word. So they have to solidify. But I think having the experience of these two players in Guemarães as well as Casemiro, it's perfection from Don Carlo. And I don't see them being displaced. I see this to be the closest thing to what Brazil will line up as at the World Cup. No Richarlisons. The only player you can consider is Rafinha. How does Rafinha fit in? We don't even know at this point. Maybe Vini Jr. becomes the striker, Rafinha on the left side, and that would put Cunha out of the team. I think Estevao and Rodrigo, to some extent, I'm assuming they are the most trusted players for Don Carlo right now. And that's interesting, guys. But we speak about our star boy. Let's go back to our star boy, because he's in the thumbnail. He is the topic of discussion. The reliance on Estêvão Willian and how he's taking it on is amazing, guys. This player, he's going places. And I love how Don Carlo's utilizing him, because he has said, and his agent said, we're going to Chelsea because Chelsea have informed us that eventually Estevão can play in central attack, in the central attacking midfield, if anything, where Cole Palmer plays for Chelsea. And that's what Enzo Maresca's also been saying. And you do see it from Enzo Maresca. Every now and then he'll give Estevão that position to play, test him out of sorts. And Estevão's still adapting. I think he's actually more comfortable doing it for Brazil than he is for Chelsea. For Chelsea, of course, out and out, more of a right winger for us right now. But doing well as a right wing. Brilliantly well, if anything. To the extent that, guys, I want an 18-year-old above Pedro Neto. I want an 18-year-old ahead of Pedro Neto. Guys, let me not say too much before I start lying. You don't want to lie. You get me? But brilliant game from Estevão at the Emirates, as we said. Arsenal fans, FYI, Gabriel went off with a possible groin injury. That's a scare for you guys. Who's going to play there? Hincapi, maybe. That must have you thinking City might breathe down our necks if we're not careful. That's a painful one for the Arsenal fans. But yeah, Don Carlo, well done, sir. Your experience is on show. And Brazil have easily, rapidly become a problem to think about at the World Cup. You get me? Blessings, my people.